Joanne. Good morning, Saturday friends. How are you? Nancy, good morning. Michael, good morning. I see that you're here. Okay. Aw. Isn't that nice? That's really nice that Michael said good morning to Nancy because he is in class with her usually on Wednesdays. So I just think that that's so nice, that recognition of another person from our life in the pre pandemic era, which is interesting, right? Lynn and Dave, good morning. And also, Steve is probably here. He always texts me at the end of class to let me know when he's here. And I don't always get to mention him in class. Sometimes I do. And then who else? Jerry is there quite often. Joy. So quite often there's a lot of people that are able to show up that we don't always get to see chat with us. Let me see, Dina. Good morning. Aloha. George, good morning. Lauren, hello. Maybe Rick is with you. And if so, hello, Rick. And if not, hello, Rick, wherever you are. Great. So thank you for joining me. Um, I wanted to say that I will be here next weekend also. In the years past, so I guess 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I guess it's with six Thanksgivings that I always did teach over the Thanksgiving holiday because I thought many of us would be in town. And I think that definitely this year we are in town. So I'd like to say that I will be here next Saturday to teach. And I look forward to that. Good morning, Carolyn. Nice to have you here. So for today's practice, we're going to need a chair. I'd love for you to have a chair, especially for those of you with back issues. It's a nice way to release a lot of aspects of the physical body to bring some rest and relaxation into the body. When we speak about stress, thinking about the stress on the body and how that shows up usually in the form of pain. Um, and then let me see. Okay, oh, hi, Nicole. God, Lynn is like my cheerleader. I swear to gosh. Lynn brings so many people. So, welcome, Nicole. And let me see. Lynn, you're just so wonderful. I think we have to like do something together because you're amazing. Between having Dave come and originally Steve and Debbie, and then the other day, Lizzie, I believe, joined us. So, it's wonderful to have you here with me. So, since I do know that for sure I have somebody here that's new and there may be others that watch, whether it's live or recorded, I'd like to state that I will be the guide, the voice that you hear, and that the voice inside your body is the one to listen to the most. So, this is the yoga for stress reduction. And that for me is lovely because to me, yoga is the answer. Yoga is amazing, a tremendous healing wisdom that is exactly what we all need in our lives right now. It's all of us need this. And I don't mean all of us as in here in the US, I mean all of us in the world need this. And that might sound like a grand statement, but I'd like to explain why I say this. This morning, I was listening to one of the doctors that I follow. I'm always trying to learn and expand and grow and learn something to share with you all. And so today, what I was learning was from one of the doctors who's a former vascular surgeon. And this whole word of lifestyle medicine is so prevalent in the terminology now. It's a raised awareness on how what we do on a daily basis, what we eat, how we think, how we move, how we show up to live our lives on a daily basis has an effect on our overall well being. And that's not a concept that we in the West have thought about much, I would say. So we show up, it seems, let's say over 50, we show up with so many issues in our tissues in terms of joints and physical. And then there's the metabolic deeper layers. And there's so much struggling and suffering that takes place, whether that's a metabolic condition and then you need to take a medication, or that physical aspect of something that breaks down in the body. And when there is a physical issue, and I know this from my own journey with my hip, is that it overrides. It's like something is screaming that you want to say stop, you don't want to pay attention to it, but because you're walking around with it every day, it affects you. So that word stress can come from the physical body, it could be deeper in your metabolic body, and then on the place where I think yoga comes in a way that many other things don't, it starts to deal with your mental emotional layer, whether that's whatever happened to you in this entire life that you've lived or lives past. And that doesn't have to be a deeper concept. It could be, you could think of it as what your grandma or your grandpa or your ancestors. And I think that's an easier concept for us to grasp here in the West. We have these patterned conditions in our minds and our mindset. So when I have this class today, yoga for stress reduction, here's what I'd like to say is that right now, today, you showed up. So this is an opportunity for you to take care of you. And there's a lot of men in this class, and men don't always take care of themselves. And so I really want us to all think about that. Can we come to a position where you can sit and close your eyes and touch your body by putting your hands on your thighs and rub your hands up and down? Let your elbows come closer to your body. And if sitting in a chair is something you need to do because your knees don't like to bend, because whatever, there's a little creaks, you need a little lube in your joints right now, so they're a little rigid and you can't come in. I want this to be a little bit of an awareness mindset piece. So find a, a way that you could close your eyes without falling over or feel like you're falling over. And I want you to rub up and down your legs. And then I want you to take your hands on your knees if you have access to them and rub around in circles. The largest joint in the body takes the majority of the weight from up above in a physical sense. And then for those that have pounded it over the years, running, moving, working, so a little love to the knee joint. And it doesn't have to be a woo woo thing, or for those of you that means something, it can be a real deep woo woo love that you're sending there. And then rub your thighs, feel your thighs. Take your right hand on your left arm. Start with your hand. Squeeze your hand, squeeze your fingers, your thumb, your fingers, squeeze. Come to your wrist and roll around your wrist with your hand. And then go up your arm. Squeeze your arm, squeeze your arm. You don't have to lift it up very high, especially if you have shoulder issues. Come up to your shoulder and circles in your shoulder, and be a little stronger here because I want you to bring blood flow to this area. So I want you to move the lymphatic fluids through the system, and I want you to bring blood here. So we're starting to actually set yourself up in this therapeutic sense before we even go deeper in the practice. Take your left hand now over to the right. Squeeze your hand, squeeze your hand, your pinkies. Feel how nice touch feels. This is you with a self massage. This is actually one of the practices in yoga. Bring your hands to your wrist. Cup your hand, your left hand around your right wrist and go around in a circular pattern. Love, lots of love. And for those with issues in the wrist area, super extra love. Breaking up any kind of anything that's there, mental, emotional, or physical stuff. And then bring your hand up your arm, squeeze your arm, come up to that right shoulder, rub your right shoulder. Go a little strong here so that you can actually bring some blood flow and move the lymph that comes here. This is where the lymphatic system comes up and dumps back into the circulatory system. Take your hands on your upper chest by your clavicles and then the side of the neck. So the lymphatic system doesn't have a heart. It dumps back into the system to be cleansed right on the left side of the body where the aortic arch is. So go up and down your neck here. Come towards the top of your chest by your shoulders, and then go behind your head. So go behind your head to the back neck. Go to where the bump in the head is. Take your fingers or your thumbs, actually. Do your thumbs and go up and down here. So this right here, a lot of tension is held in the body here. And right now where you are with your thumbs, this is the command center, the control center. This is where the signals are being directed to physically in your body of, are you safe on a daily basis? So that stress trigger happens right here in the limbic area, in the amygdala, in this part of your brain. So rub that part of your brain. And then I want you to bring your hands onto your ears, one on either side. Just cup your ears for a second. Feel you, feel your container. And then bring your hands up to the top of the head. Fingers can touch, or even bring one hand on the forehead, one hand on the top of the head. This is where we need to be. This is our intelligent area. This is what tells us that everything is okay and everything is all right. We need to live more here. So feel the palm on the forehead, feel the palm on the head. Right underneath your hands, this is where you're going to direct your energy throughout your day, throughout your time. Feel under your palms. And then bring your hands together. Take your hands together. Rub your hands together. Bring your hands together in front of your chest. Let the thumbs touch the space right where your heart is. So connecting to the energetic aspects of you, right where that heart is. And then I want you to think about the last few minutes. How here were you? How in your moment were you when you were rubbing your fingers, rubbing your wrist, rubbing your shoulder, squeezing your thighs, rubbing your knees, massaging the back of your head with your thumbs, placing your hands on top of your head and your forehead? I want you to think about how often you were here, and then bring your awareness to your eyes. Gently allow the eyelids to open themselves. The focus for today's class is stress management, bringing ourselves from where we live all day long to where we need to be to heal the internal, the physiological, metabolic, and all of that stuff. We're going to move our physical body to stretch and pull out and release tension of stress. We're going to strengthen our body to hold ourselves up so that we minimize the wear and tear and the pain so that we don't have stress from physical. And then the more often you stay right here, right now, as a human being instead of a human doing, that is when you are healing yourself. So for stress management purposes, human being, human being, human being, here and now. I want you to feel as much as you could feel and notice all that you notice during today's practice. And every second that you stay on your mat with your mind and your body is a second of healing. So you choose over this next hour how many seconds are going to be complete deep healing for you. Okay. Hopefully that is digestible for most. Let's bring ourselves onto the ground so we can ground our mental energy. I asked you to get a chair. I'd like your entire lower calves to be supported. And if you don't have a chair, a blanket or pillows will do. Today's practice, we're going to use a block and we're going to use a strap. So if you could get those, it could be anything that makes a strap. It could be a belt, a robe strap, or extra blankets. Also for underneath your legs, if you don't have a chair, it could be pillows. You could be against the wall. If you have osteoporosis, you will want to come to the side and reach your arm away from you to come down onto the floor, and then bring yourself down into whatever it is you found for yourself. And then we're going to set ourselves up for success, giving ourselves every opportunity here to actually practice human being. So put your physical body in a very comfortable position to begin. You may have your legs on the chair. If you do, try to fully let go of the weight. Put the entire lower calf on the chair. Let the back of the knee joint, where the upper thigh begins, let whatever you're up on, it could be an ottoman, it could be a sofa, it could be a chair, let your legs be fully supported. And this will help to release tension in the low back, free up the pelvis, an area that takes so much compressive force from above. And then let's let the hands rest on the tummy so that you could feel your body and bring your awareness to your hands. There's a lot of brain activity that is stimulated when you are feeling things in your hands. Direct pathway from the fingers all the way up to the brain, the part of the brain we want to be in the most, the human being part of the brain, instead of the human doing part of the brain. So let's let the doing go. Let's let the being stay. Bring your awareness to the back of your body, to the support that you feel. You could have a blanket underneath your head. Legs are supported, body is supported, head is supported. And then take your hands and maybe do a little rubbing up and down with your hands. This part of the body, lots of stuff happens here. If you are mostly human doing and stress, deep inside your body stores energy here to run away from that stress. Deep inside. And that's what contributes to a lot of the metabolic physiological aspects of the wear and tear on our body. So I want you to let your hands be here, feeling your belly, noticing where you are in your mind, and then bring your awareness slowly from the brain down the throat, down past the heart, noticing there's those hands, noticing from that the hands are on the belly. And then I want you to bring yourself all the way down to your left foot, to the left sole, and see if you could feel whether, if you have a sock on, can you feel the sock touching your flesh? And if you don't have a sock on, can you feel the air up against each toe, up against the sole, and up against the heel? Noticing, are there sensations? So if you have a sock on, can you feel where the fabric begins and your last skin cell ends? So be right there. And then with the air, if it's the air that's caressing your foot, feel where the air is touching your skin. Bring your awareness to the left big toe, to the tip of the left toe, big toe, then to the second toe. Notice every aspect of it with the eyes closed, the third toe, fourth, and then that pinky. Bring your awareness to the left ankle. Can you feel any of the muscular communication or the neurological communication right now? Blood is moving, lymphatic is moving, nerves are moving. Can you notice any of that activity in your left ankle? If your legs are elevated, feel the pressure on the back of the left calf. Bring your awareness to your left knee. Do you feel or notice anything in the left knee? The left upper thigh and the left hip. Bring your awareness to the right foot. And be curious here to sensations, to what it feels like to have a sock on, or what it feels like to have the air interacting with your skin. Or if there's any sensory aspects. Nerves begin in the brain, go down the spinal column, and they terminate in the end of our feet. And in yoga, there's a lot of emphasis on the nadis, or the energetic system that begins in the soles of the feet. So in that right foot, so many ending nerves that are the same nerves that stimulate your eyes, your ears, your internal organs, your heart, your stomach, your kidneys. Same pathway from the brain, talks to the heart, goes down farther, talks to something else, to something else. Bring your awareness to your right ankle joint. Notice any movement or activity that you could detect in that right ankle. The right lower leg, the calf, the shin, your right knee joint, especially if you're someone that has issues in that joint. Do you feel anything there? The left upper leg, the right upper leg, the right hip. Then bring your awareness to your pelvis. The sacrum, the base of your spine is there. Can you feel the heaviness and feel that connection? It's also a place where the nerves go down to the feet, to the ankle. So for balance, for coordination, for our ability to move, to walk, to hike, to bend, to stand on one foot, all these nerves come off the sacrum. Feel that pressure as you rest your pelvis on the floor, bringing your awareness up to the back, the low back. Let's take a couple of breaths down to the low back, especially if this is an area that you have sensations throughout your day. Take some deep breaths so you feel your hands, you feel the belly move, you feel movement in this part of your body. Breathe so big and breathe back to the back of your body so that the breath, when it comes in, tries to push the lower back towards the floor. And go slow so you could feel that release coming in as you expand this area. And there's movement on the lower spine when we do this. We actually help to align the lower vertebra with breath. As you inhale, and everything is so tightly packaged that the movement is backwards towards the floor. The joints that can move in this area, the only joints that exist in this area is the lumbar spine. So breathing deeply will move the joints of your low back. So for those of you with tension, with issues in this part of your body, breathe big, breathe deep, breathe back. And let that movement help to gently mobilize that lower spine. And since we've been here in this supine position, lying on the ground, we've allowed all the fluids that were squished out or compressed out, for better terms. I like squished. Compressed out of the spine and the surrounding tissue have now moved back into your discs between each vertebra. So breathe in deeply and backwards, mobilizing that lumbar spine that now is hydrated with surrounding protective fluid for gliding, sliding mobility in your spine. This is a great way to take a break for those of you with low back issues. To elevate your legs, to allow the fluids to come back to the spine, to human being, be in that human being zone, and then breathe deeply to allow movement to occur to that lower lumbar. It's the only joints that exist between the top of the pelvis and the lower rib cage, and this entire region of your body is the spine. Bring your awareness up to the next part of your spine, the thoracic. Not as mobile, yet so supportive and protective of your heart, your lungs. Breathe deeply here in your chest. Thank you, ribs, for supporting me. Let's warm up the respiratory muscles by breathing deep in this chest area and feel the movement as you breathe deep. Notice if the movement is mostly up towards the sky. Notice if the movement is out towards the sides. Start to make it a little wider so you feel yourself getting wider. Bring your awareness to the side ribs here. And as you breathe in, get wide. Go slow and be inside your torso to feel where you feel release coming in if you do. Bring your awareness backwards as you begin to direct that breath back towards the back of your spine where your ribs are attached. Go slow and feel how your back moves towards the floor, presses into the floor, and notice how that feels where you feel it. Try to get the sensation of your back pressing into the floor. And bring your awareness to the top of your lungs, where your clavicle bones are, right before the neck begins. Breathe in here, fill up the top of your lungs, feel a lift moving up towards your throat and your head. Go slow. Notice if the right side of your body and the left side of your body are equally taking in as much movement and sensation and breath. Go slow. Bring your awareness to your jaw. Take the lower jaw, keep the lips touching. Gently side to side, move your jaw side to side. Keeping the lips together, can you move your jaw forward and backwards? Try to be in your jaw joint, right by the ears, that temporal mandibular TMJ joint, right where it's in front of the ears. Be there when you move your jaw side to side and you move your jaw up towards the sky and back towards your neck. But keep your lips together. So it's only a range of motion that's comfortable and you could keep your lips closed. Then allow your jaw to soften. A lot of tension from stress is held in the jaw. And because this is the morning for most of us, maybe there may be tension overnight for those of you that are clenching. Dreams and sleep is a way for us to process our daily cortisol secretion, which is one of our main stress hormones. The body responds while that's happening. Bring your awareness to your facial muscles along the cheeks, side of the nose. Can you allow them to soften and feel the heaviness in your face as you let go of your cheeks, the facial muscles? Bring your awareness to your eyes. Can you let your eyes soften so you actually feel a little heaviness as the eyeballs rest and relax a little deeper in the sockets? Bring your awareness between your eyes, between your eyebrows, directly back behind this area. Feel the head supported by the blanket. Feel the heaviness of your head as you let go of holding it up on top of your body, releasing. Bring your awareness to how your body feels right now in terms of weight. Does it feel heavy? Notice that. Notice your teeth, your face, your hands, your legs if they're elevated on the chair or the wall. Notice the back of the body, the elbows, the arms. Noticing if there's any place in your body you're still holding or gripping, and let go. Bring your awareness to your toes. Start to wiggle your toes. Start to wiggle your hands. For every moment that you are a human being and you are in this moment feeling, noticing, sensing, is a moment that you allowed your internal intelligence to go about its business, repairing and healing and restoring. And there's so much tremendous intelligence inside each and every one of us. Draw your knees into your chest. There's so much intelligence inside of our body. The goal of the body is homeostasis. It's a strong instinctual drive for our bodies to go to the place of healing and repairing and restoring. And we get in the way. When we are human doings, we're not allowing that to happen. So what we just did is the most valuable thing in the yoga practice you will do is to practice human being. Take your legs up to the air, take your hands up to the air, shake, shake, shake. Let everything settle, let everything go. And then bring yourself onto your right side. Another thoughtful movement pattern here you're going to learn now is moving up from a supine position to seated. Take your left hand on the floor, open your hands really wide, go slow. Slow is hard, slow is advanced. And then slowly let your left shoulder lead the way. Go slow, use your hand. I have to say that because our ego, that part of us that a lot of us have, and I know a lot of us here have it because I know some of you, especially those of us that were always going, doing and doing really big. Like it has to be big. We always have to go, go, go. That part of us, it's important to slow down and to take our times out to heal ourselves. Okay, so that was human being. Let's do a little doing. Let's see if the doing part of the practice, when we do this doing, can we do the doing with as much being awareness as possible? The more you can stay connected, your mind and body, and not let yourself go to yesterday or tomorrow, that is yoga. So stay here with me, stay here with you. Put your blanket on the floor. For some of you, you may want to put a pillow here. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to do this beautiful puppy dog, all fours, lower down to the floor, open up the throat, flow. We're going to move our spine through, well, not really flexion. We're flexing at the hip joint here because this is for those that have bone health issues too. It's really good to not round that upper spine. So if you did have, I'm going to show you this, if you had pillows that you were using or even a blanket, if you don't need to have a blanket underneath your knees, it could be a blanket that you put there. When we lower down onto the floor in our flow, sometimes if you have something that stops you a little bit earlier, it may be easy for some of you. For those of you that have a pretty strong upper body, muscular, muscles of the upper body are okay. You may be okay doing nothing below you. Okay, so let's begin in puppy dog. Come here into puppy dog. Puppy dog is with the arms extended, no bend in your elbow. So find no bend in your elbows. Your arms are straight. Walk your hands wide, let your forehead touch the floor. Lengthening the arms and the shoulder joint, stretching the chest, stretching the part of your body where your nerves go all the way down to your fingers and your wrists. So for those of you with shoulder issues, with wrist, with fingers, with arm issues, this is a great stretch. If the head doesn't touch the floor, you could put something underneath the head, straighten the arms, feel that stretch. It's called puppy dog. Keeping the tushy in the air. The tushy does not touch the heels here. And then you're gonna open up your hands really wide. Pointer fingers point away from you. Let's inhale to come up. So you're in an all fours position. Then you bend your elbows slowly. Look down and look forward. Do not look straight down towards the belly button. Don't round the back of the neck. Lengthen the back of the neck. You go slow with your elbows along the side of your body. This is a lot of load for the upper body musculature. Elbows are in at the side. Then you open your throat. Bring your spine into what's called extension. Feel the stretch below the ribs and in the belly area. And then exhale, push your belly button to your spine. Come back up to your puppy dog. Inhale, exhale to lower. Inhale, open your throat. Exhale, back. Go slow. Let the muscles lengthen, stretch, create space in your joints. Take away tension wherever it's stored from all the human doingness that happened this past week for you. Exhale, back. Feel the muscles stretch, loading up the shoulders, triceps, biceps, all of our upper body. Go slow here. Last one, inhale, exhale to lower, inhale up. Stay here and stay down on the ground. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Come into a Sphinx pose. Have your head looking forward here. Holding your head up against gravity like this strengthens the muscles of posture, aligns the spine. Let's take the legs, bring the feet a little closer together. Bring the elbows closer together so they're underneath your shoulders. Bring your hands so that they're not too far apart. Spread your fingers. And then you're going to contract your core. So the core is where the legs attach to the body and the lower rib cage. You're going to imagine that you're squeezing a big orange, or you draw everything from around the back to the center of the body, and then you push that up towards the low back. Take an inhale here. And another great visual is this. Visualize that right in your low back, in the center of your low back, is a string that the puppeteer has. And that string is going to lift that part of your body up towards the sky. So your feet are pretty close together here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, start to contract your core. Lift the low back up off the floor. Lift the belly off the floor. Lift the chest off the floor. Stay here in a modification of a dolphin plank. Draw your knees towards each other and your elbows towards each other. The low back is reaching up towards the sky. Look forward in front of your fingers, or at least to the thumbs. Don't let your eyeballs go down. Don't round that back neck. Keep your head up. Press the elbows into the floor. Press the lower legs into the floor and draw them towards each other. For those of you that want to come into a full dolphin, flip your toes under and bring yourself off the floor. Reaching that low back up. Reach your head long, either reach your feet, your heels back, or dig your knees into the mat. And then if you need to come down at any time, come down. For those that want a little more, take 1 foot off if you're in your full dolphin. And then switch. Put your feet down. Let's take 1 more breath. And then bring yourself all the way down. Let's take our hands, walk your hands over to the left. Let's stretch our psoas. So taking some tension out of the body when we stretch, adding some strength for support for the body. Keep your elbows underneath your shoulders. Take your hands on the floor. Push your hands into the floor. Reach your body long. So pull your rib cage away from your pelvis. Your pelvis is locked down onto the floor here in this position. And then if you'd like, you can lift away from the floor. So feel like you're lifting your heart away from the floor. For some of you, maybe you can even come up a little higher, stretching the psoas. We're over to the left, so there's a lot of sensation in the lower right side of the body. Take 1 more breath. And then bring yourself forward. This is a muscle that gets tense from sitting, and we sit so much these days. Let's walk ourselves over to the right side. Left elbow comes right underneath the left shoulder. Push your hands into the floor and lengthen your torso. So first add length, pulling your ribs away from the pelvis. And then you push your hands into the floor to lift your body away from the floor. Feel that deep stretch deep in the low left side. If you want to lift a little higher away from the floor, if that's appropriate for you. This may be a strong enough sensation to be down low, so do what's right. Go to wherever you feel that sensation. Take 1 more breath. And then let's bring ourselves back to center. We're going to strengthen our postural muscles, that which holds us up in our lives. Let's reach your body forward. Lift your body forward as you come down. And then take the hands alongside your body. Palms are on the floor. Thumbs are away from you. Fingertips are behind you and elbows are bent. Forehead goes onto the floor. Reach your legs nice and long and then press the toenails into the floor, especially the pinky toenails, so that you're activating a little bit of that internal rotation in the body. Then you're going to inhale, push your hands into the floor. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Feel the muscles along the back fire up when you do this. Get nice and long. Inhale. It's the nape of the neck that lifts up, not the center of your head. And go slow so you can feel your back respond by contracting to lift you up against gravity. Keep your tushy soft. Working from the sacral area, these muscles along the spine, the erector muscles, Let the shoulder blades stay on the spine. And then one more. Inhale to rise. Stay here. So the nose is pointing down towards the ground. Make sure that pinky toenail is touching. Press your pubis bone towards the floor to help release some of that tension in the back. Lifting yourself up. Let your back work to hold you up here. And then let's bring yourself all the way down. Take your hands, you could either clasp your hands along your back. So we're going to come into a locust. So this right here is a locust, maybe a little more challenging if you clasp your hands. Some of you may want to have your hands alongside your body, and some may want to come into an airplane, hands are along the side. So start down, let the forehead touch, let the nose touch. Let the hands be wherever they are. If you're going to come into clasp, you could begin with the clasp position, hands behind the back. Let's take an inhale, lift yourself off the floor. Roll your legs in the socket so the soles are pointing up towards the sky and not towards each other. Reach your hands back or take them out to the side if you're doing the airplane. Reach your legs, reach your head. Feel that strength in the back of the body. Deep breaths down to your belly. Take one more breath. And then go ahead. Let's turn your head towards the left. So the right cheek and the right ear touch the floor. And it may be a challenge. Bring your arms down alongside your body. Let your shoulders round forward. So try to let the right cheek and the right ear touch. And if it's too intense, take your left hand out to the side, palm is down on the ground, or bend the left elbow. Close your eyes, feel your heartbeat. Breathe down to your belly like we did in the beginning of class, breathing down to the belly and back up towards the back. And remember, the joints that are in this part of your body is that lumbar spine. So use breath to help to release, and relieve tension in the low back. We're going to turn our head to the other direction. Tuck your chin down towards your chest. Bring your head up. Nicely rotate your cervical spine with awareness in the spine. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Then allow the right or the left cheek and left ear to touch the floor. If you need to have a release of tension, you could take the right hand out to the side, palm down. And then if that's not enough, you could bend the elbow. And then, yes, be curious about that if that's something you need. It's an indicator of some asymmetry and tightness in the upper back and neck. That's all that it means. It means now you have an area that you can focus on to help release that tension. And this here actually is doing that. It's stretching upper back and neck muscles. So this is a way to bring in some of that. And maybe for some of you, you needed to have it, maybe the head needs to be elevated or hopefully the arm out to the side is enough to bring that release. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back to center. Take your right hand up. Let's roll onto our right side. And then come up like this. So you're going to decide, we're going to come into a side plank, strengthening our lateral chain. You're going to decide the more you bend your knees, I don't even want to use the word easier because I don't want the ego to get involved and you think you have to do that. You're going to feel your way through this. So the right elbow needs to be directly underneath the shoulder, and you're going to push the upper right chest forward. So you're not rounded and collapsing in that. You really want to stabilize this shoulder joint and be protective of this shoulder joint.
And if you have a right shoulder joint, please bend your knees even more because you want to put less weight into that shoulder joint. So we're going to come up into a side plank. You're either going to have your knees bent lifting up, or you're going to have your legs pretty straight and lift yourself up. So the focus here is either on the knee or on the inner, the pinky toe edge. And this is to strengthen the lateral chain muscles. So let's take, you could have your hand in front of you. You could have a block to have your hand in front of you also. We're just going to go up and hold it for 3 breaths. So find whatever bent knee position you need, and then let's lift our legs up off the floor. You could take your arms up if you needed to, pressing the knee or whatever in, take 3 breaths. And then you're going to lower. We're going to come to the other side. You don't have to move. I am going to move just so my back doesn't face you. But bring yourself to the other side. Bring yourself, roll over, come onto your left elbow. Make sure your elbow is directly underneath your shoulder, bending your knees. You can start with your hand on your waist and then contract your core, push your belly button back towards your spine, lift yourself up, whatever you need to do. And if you want to bring your arm up to the side, make sure your left upper chest is pointing forward here. And then go ahead and lower, bend the knees, take your hand in front of you, and then you're going to bring yourself up to be into a seated position. So I'd like you to just check in right now, and during that physical practice, some more challenging than others, notice the times that you really were there in the moment, whether it was, oh my gosh, how much longer, or whatever it is. Anytime you could stay here right now in this present moment is a gift to yourself and is not stimulating the stress response. Okay, so I would like us to, we're going to stretch the back of our bodies, the posterior chain, and stretch our calves. So let's see how this goes. Maybe a little challenging for some of you. Let me just show you for a second. So when we come into, this is called down dog. Here's the variations of down dog. You could come with your feet pretty wide, depending on what range of motion you have in the back of your body, or you could have your feet closer together. You can have a bend in your knees here, but what's really important is look at my upper back. You want to make sure that there isn't rounding. So if your hands are too close and your head is, I don't know if there's a round, yeah, see how my back went into a rounded position. We want a flat position with our backs. So take your hands wide. Pointer fingers are forward. That adds a little external rotation for shoulder joint. It just moves the upper humerus head a little farther back in that joint so it doesn't impinge the front of the joint. And a lot of people seem to have shoulder issues. Flip your toes under, take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, take your body weight back, push your toes into the floor, lift your tushy up, keep your knees bent. And then you're going to slowly push one heel at a time towards the floor and make it be the back edge of the heel. So not like a duck-footed position. There's a huge piece of fascia that attaches on to this back heel, side heel, all the way up the back of the body, around the head to the forehead. So feel that fascia starting to stretch in the calf joint. And then can you push both feet into the floor? Push your fingertips into the floor like crazy. This is pretty challenging, I know, for the upper body. Take one more breath. And then bend your knees, walk your hands back to your feet. We'll look forward so you keep your upper back nice and straight, and then push your feet onto the floor. Take one hand at a time on top of your heels. Go slow, please don't pop up here. And then bring yourself up. So if any of you here are over age 35, there may be some wrinkles on the inside that you don't see, and there might be less pliability in your circulatory system and your blood vessels. Let me move my camera up. Go ahead and grab your chair, and then bring your chair back to the mat. Okay. So I want you to just check in with yourself. There's definitely more strengthening going on here with this, a lot more upper body. Hopefully you were able to do most of that. Knees bent helps to modify quite a bit. Because we're living this package for our whole life, we need to keep it strong. So doing some of that loaded body weight that we did today so far, strengthening a lot of muscles and hopefully stretching and taking some of the tension out. And then the integrity of the joints, especially some of the joints that are more precarious like shoulders and knees. A lot of what we did today is going to strengthen those. And then let's continue with that. I'd like to do some postural strengthening with the joints. Let's take our feet, stretch your feet, something that I know not a lot of you do often and is something I'd like you to add to your life. Yoga is lifestyle medicine, and yoga therapy in particular, I'm going to say, is lifestyle medicine. And a lot of what our issues are today are lifestyle habits and lifestyle based. So flip your toe under, try to feel that stretch on the top of the foot. If you want to really accentuate it, stretching a front fascial sheath chain, like we just did the back, you could take that toe under and then reach that same side arm up and your head up as well, lengthening that whole entire side. And then let's do the same thing on the other. Take the back foot back, stretch the top of the foot. This could be something that would be great for you to start adding into your life. If it's not something you do on a daily basis now, which what else teaches us to keep our feet limber and move our feet a lot? So do this all the time. You could brush your teeth like this. You could be anything you do normally, standing, talking. Even if you've got the remote and you're going to change the channels and you're standing up, stretch your feet or do something with your foot, with your ankle. And then let's do articulation of your feet and articulation of the knees in a safe way. Hopefully this is feeling okay for knees to bend like this. I am coming all the way up onto my feet, prancing like a horse. Make sure your pinky toes touch. Then I want you to come all the way up onto your heel, onto your toes, toe pads. Okay. And then let's do a little side action. Bend your foot, look down, go slow, especially if it's not something you do often, and especially if there's not a lot of moisture in your body. So if you're dehydrated, which a lot of people, that's another aspect of keeping ourselves real nice and hydrated. And on that note, I'd like to say this. If we were in a lightning situation, we would not want to stand in a puddle of water because the transmission of electricity in water is so fast. So I'd like you to think about your body as being transmitted of your nervous system, and how being more hydrated and being more moist in your body is going to allow for that communication to be at a faster speed, warp speed. Okay, so let's take our chair in front of us. Take our chair in front of us and take your legs really wide here. And the toes are pointing forward. So you're going really wide, and that's why you have a chair. We're going to go really, really wide. We're going to dance. We're going to do our warrior dance. I'd first like you to start with the wide stance, chair in front of you, clasping your hands, reaching your hands down, letting your chest come up, looking at the sky. So this is a chest expansion. Hands are clasped. Reach your hands down, reach your chest up. Move your hands away from your body and move your hands down. Down and away, open your chest, stretching the shoulders, feel that, notice what feels appropriate. Take one more breath, and then bring yourself forward. So the feet are wide, the toes are forward. Let's go to your left first. So pick up your left toes, keep your left leg straight, and then swivel on the heel. Your left toes go to the left. Bring your right heel up, right heel goes away. So the right foot is in and the left foot is to the side. And then we're going to do those postural muscles I was talking about. So bring your shoulders forward, bring them up, bring them back, bring them down. Do a couple of shoulder rotation. Nice thing to do during the day to release tension. And Dave, I'm thinking about you in particular right now. This would be a great thing to do daily for all of us. But you popped into my mind there for a second. Try to get this fluidity to come into your shoulder joint. And then shoulders are up, back, down. Keep them back there. Bend that left knee, take your fingers down alongside your body. Let's push away from the pinky toe edge of the right foot. So very important, the right foot is grabbing the floor. Think about an eagle's talons on top of a flagpole, how he would have to wrap his talons around to hold onto that flagpole. Fingertips are alongside your body, bending that left knee. Push the left knee to the left with strength. Reach your fingers down. Push away from the right foot. So I mostly want you to feel this in the right foot. As your left knee bends, your body doesn't go forward, it goes down, and then exhale to straighten. Inhale to come into this. Load up that left knee, what's appropriate, and really push away from the right edge of your foot when you do this. And then next one, we're going to stay. You're going to stay down here. Push your feet into the ground and be as deep in this as you can, and see if you can wiggle your pelvis when you're in this. So you want some freedom in that pelvis. Press your feet into the floor. Press your arms alongside your body. Look over your left middle fingertip. Push your feet into the floor. Feel this in your body. Now, zipper up your midsection as if you were zippering up your pants all the way up towards the belly button, and feel the height, the length that comes in the body. Now turn your left palm up towards the sky. Reach your left hand away, reach your right arm away. So you have a lot of length in your body, stretching your body. Let's tip backwards into what's called a reverse warrior. Reaching your hand up towards the sky. Reach that left hand, look at your left middle finger. Feel that length and that stretch you're creating on the left side. Can you push your right heel and right pinky toe edge a little bit more to bend that left knee deeper? Reach that right hand down that right thigh. Feel the right hand touching your right thigh. Look at your left finger. Take an inhale here and an exhale. Zipper, zipper, zipper. And then let's tilt onto the left thigh. So the left hand touches the left thigh. Take your right hand up and then push your left arm into your left thigh to pull your torso away. So don't let yourself rest here and hang out. Push and lift away, and then turn your heart forward. If you want to go a little deeper, you take that left arm, you can even take it off, take it on the inner left knee and rotate your trunk, lengthen. Now push your right foot into the floor, turn your palm up and over, reach, reach, reach. Go a little deeper in that left knee if you can. Then let's dance. Inhale, keep your left knee bent. Come into a reverse. Come into a side angle. Come into a reverse. And then a side angle. Try to really let that upper torso move. Let that lower torso be stable, and feel the hands reaching away to create space. Lift your rib cage away from your pelvis. One more. Bring yourself back into your warrior two. Push your hands back, lower your shoulders, and then go ahead and straighten your leg. So, how much being happened there? How much were you in your body, either thinking about it being uncomfortable or hard, or how long, or is this okay for me? Should I be doing this? And all the thoughts that can happen when we start to do some of the deeper, more challenging asana in the practice of yoga. Loading up joints, the fear if you had issues in your tissues when you start to bend your knees and load up your hip joints. And then I want you to notice your right foot and notice how strengthening that is for the feet. So strengthening to do this standing work for many aspects of our body, but really the feet is something that a lot of us don't pay attention to, and that's a huge aspect to this practice. All right, notice your heart rate. Let's take our hands, just move your hands around. Let's do a little chest expansion to bring more breath in. So my heart is accelerated. I really feel that heart rate accelerate using all these muscles. Okay, we're going to go to the other side. So we're doing the warrior two. We do the reverse warrior. We do the side angle, and then we dance. And the warrior poses, if you think about a warrior, what does a warrior make you think of? A warrior is a pose of power. This is power, power physically, power mentally, power emotionally, and power to harness the mind to be in the present moment, to be in the human being aspect of what we're going for. All right. I know today I'm kind of feisty. Toes are forward, legs are spread. Chair in front of you is a real nice security, and it's going to help you stay in here and go a little deeper. I find that it's a really nice thing. Now, even in here in this wide stance, can you have your toes pointing forward? Can you lift your arches off? Feel the pinky toe edge. Become a eagle grabbing onto the flagpole and feel how that fires up and strengthens that lateral chain of the lower leg. All right, right side. Pick up the right toe. Keep that right leg straight. Turn the right toes. I know one thing I haven't really mentioned here. Let's come into this for a second. Pick up your left foot, move your left foot. You need to do what's appropriate for you. So this is pretty strong and I'm going pretty deep. I have the chair there. For some of you, maybe your bend is small. Maybe your movement is a smaller range of motion because it really needs to be what's appropriate for your body. The deeper we go, the more we load up the joints, the more you can keep the torso on top of your pelvis instead of bringing your arms forward. The more you can create all of this space, do all of these things. There's a lot happening here. Loading up joints, rotating the trunk, a lot of bone stimulation for the pelvis, for the femur head, femur neck, rotation in the spine. So it's a lot of stuff we're doing here, a lot of good stuff. All right, right toes are forward, left toes are pointing in. You're gonna take your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Let's do that again. Forward, up, back, and down. Fingertips reach down. Slight bend in that right knee. Activate that left leg, pinky toe edge. Lift that arch off. Reach your hands down. Push away from the left leg to inhale to come into flexion in the knee and the hip, and exhale out. Inhale to bend, pushing your right knee to the right, pushing into that left pinky toe edge. Last one, let's come down and stay down. Add as much flexion as appropriate for you. Flexion means bending. Bend your knee as much as you would like to. And then push that front heel into the floor to turn on the posterior chain. That'll fire up your glutes. So for those of you with knee issues, this is great. Push that right heel in. And now on this left leg, pinky toe edge, be lateral and in the posterior. Arms are up, press your arms to the side, look over your middle finger. Really strong here in your warrior. Push your feet into the floor, zipper up your belly. So feel that you're getting a zipper, 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 and then get tall. Feel how that adds length in your torso. Looking over your middle finger. Take one more breath. Really push that left leg. Keep your feet active. Turn your right palm up and then reach your right palm away. Look at your right middle finger and lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Left hand is on the left thigh. And then reach the left hand down the left thigh. Reach that right hand up towards the sky. We're going to come into that reverse, bending that right arm. The torso, the spine stays nice and long as you bring your right arm on top of that thigh. Left hand up. Make sure that your left leg is active. Rotate that trunk. Zipper up the belly. Point that tailbone down towards the inner left heel. Could come on the inside if you'd like. Make sure you're long in your spine. And then we're going to dance. Let's inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. You come back up to your warrior two. And then unbend. Whew. All right. Boy, oh boy. So let's take the chair and let's take the chair away, actually. So for balance, I'd like you to stand on one foot and I'd like you to pick the other foot up. Oh, sorry, the chair maybe could have been there for this. So maybe near a wall, or if you need your chair, pointing and flexing. single leg balance. My foot is in front of me. So make sure you don't have your foot here doing this. This is not this. This is foot in front of kneecap so that you're really getting the standing balance on that opposite leg. This is another daily habit to add to your repertoire throughout your day. Roll your ankle around in circles. Let's go to the other side. Think about how healthy you're going to keep your body. Think about how you're going to minimize the stress in your body if you keep these joints healthy and the stabilizers as strong so that you can keep your alignment, your posture, your balance. Think about how much stress that will reduce in our lives if we could keep ourselves healthy. Remember that knee, the foot is forward of the knee. The higher up you lift the leg, the more work you're doing in your quadriceps. So maybe for you, it's lower down. All right, we're gonna go back down on the floor. Let's take a block. I think I did mention a strap, and I don't think the strap's gonna enter our practice today. Let's take our blanket on the floor, bring our block here. Coming down on the floor. Oh boy, it feels so good to be on the floor, doesn't it? Close your eyes for a second, let your knees fall in towards each other. Notice what you notice. Lots of strengthening in the legs, the pelvis, the knee joint, the hip joint, the ankle joint, the feet. And how nice that feels. Well, hopefully it feels nice. It feels nice when it's all done. I think I've always enjoyed when I do my stronger practices. I do enjoy them in the moment. I really enjoy them when I'm done. And then I'm so grateful that I did what I did. Let's take the block between the knees. We're going to take the blanket away from the head. We are going to be lifting our pelvis up. So those that have a real tight neck, hopefully we did a good amount so far to stretch that area with some of what we did. If you need something slight, I'd rather you have nothing. Take the knees together, put your feet on the floor so that they're not too close to your body. And then we're going to do a flowing bridge here to release more upper back and neck tension and strengthen posterior chain. So let's inhale, let one hand come up, let your head rotate in the opposite direction. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Head goes in the opposite direction, hand comes up. Go slow with your arm. Lead with your thumb. Let the palm be inward. Go slow. If you'd like to add a little contraction in the tushy when you do this right here, the bridge, I think the bridge is one of the most therapeutic poses in this practice for the physical body, for grounding the energy, for all of those things. Really lovely lower body strengthening, bringing some extension into the spine and then strengthening the muscles of extension. Go slow. So you can go slow and be with it. Feel it. Feel all parts of this. Feel your shoulder. Is it wiggling? Feel your cervical spine. Do you hear crunchy crunchies? Snap, crackle, pop. And then last one, and notice if you feel any heat in your tushy as you challenge and bring some work there. Let's walk the feet closer to the body. Keep the arms down alongside the body. Lengthen the back of the neck. Chin really pushes like crazy towards your chest, almost like you're trying to hold something on with your chin. Say you're trying to hold a pencil here. Get the chin to come close to touching the chest. Squeeze the block, squeeze the tushy, let the low back touch the floor, and then peel the spine off the floor as you reach the knees away. Squeeze the block, squeeze the tushy. Lift the rib cage away from the floor. Slide the flesh of the under part of the body closer towards the center. If you'd like to clasp the hands, you could clasp the hands. If you're newer and that's not accessible, you could bend the elbows. Palms face each other, fingertips are up towards the sky. Close your eyes. Squeeze the block, push your feet into the floor. The goal here is to lift your rib cage away from the floor, and especially the rib cage behind the heart, pushing the shoulder blades into the spine towards the heart, reaching the heart towards the face, the nose, the chin. Feel that action in your body. Feel that strength at the back of the body. Bring your awareness to your feet, or all 5 toes on both sides of your feet touching at the inner heel and the outer heel. Try to have real equal feet here. Squeeze the block, squeeze the tushy. One more breath. And then you're going to slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself down. Take your knees into your chest. Take the blanket back under your head. Bring your hands on top of your knees. And feel like your feet are going to fall away from you. So your arms are straight here. And you're holding onto the top of your knees. You're not holding on around the side. You're holding on to the top of your kneecaps. Your kneecaps are in the center of your palms. Your thumbs are on the inside of your knees. Your fingertips are reaching down to your feet, and your pinkies can be on the outside of your knee. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly draw the knee straight in towards the chest. Let the upper thighs press into the low belly. Let the low back flatten into the floor. Let the elbows go to the outside. Yes, all this matters. Inhale, arms go straight. Exhale, knees to chest. This is a pose to digest. So to digest physically by allowing the top thighs to press into and compress the belly area. And then on deeper layers to digest the stuff we allow into our being. Stay here, feel that low back press into the floor. Feel what's happening in your body. It's a nice releasing low back practice. Last one, bring your knees in. Now you can take your hands to the side, rocking side to side. And then bring your legs. We're going to come into our Shavasana, either something underneath your legs or let your legs go to a straight position. Find a Shavasana pose. Make sure you're really comfortable. You have something under your head, your arms are relaxed, your legs are relaxed. Either the legs are in a chair, bolster, pillows, or straight. And this is back to the human being. Focusing on the breath. This is the pose of peace. If you'd like to repeat the word peace with each exhalation, try to stay here, still practicing human being, not human doing.
Gently begin to deepen your breath. Gently begin to deepen the breath and then wiggle your fingers, your toes. Notice the fingers and toes wiggling. Notice the body moving. So complete body awareness here when you do your movements. Bending one knee at a time. Bring one knee into the chest, rocking, giving yourself that nice relief in that low back. Rolling onto your right side. And then using that left hand to slowly bring yourself up, leading with the left shoulder. Finding yourself in a seated position. Take your hands, rub your hands together. Bring the hands to touch the sternum bone. Sit nice and tall. Lengthen the back of the body, the back of the neck. Bring your awareness to your body. Moving your awareness up and down, feeling your body. Noticing what you notice. Thanking yourself for that complete care we gave ourselves today. Remembering how we began today with that gentle body massage. Feeling our package that we live in. Knowing that we stay in the back of their brain and bringing our awareness to that front center, deeper intelligence part. We're feeling and noticing, which is what we did a lot in the practice today, where that fires up that part of the brain, or stimulates that part of the brain. We're going to close with sound, the letter M, letting the lips vibrate. Take a deep breath all the way down to the belly. In equal recognition of you, me, and all of us being together, we bow to each other in namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Definitely a stronger practice today than I usually teach. That's for sure. So for Nicole, I hope that was okay for you. I don't know you or what your abilities are or aren't. And this was definitely one of the stronger practices I do, which I know makes Michael happy, and not sure who else is happy, but I know that Michael likes that kind of stuff. Nancy, I hope this is good. I know you like dancing warrior. And once you were able, Nancy, to notice the ego and to put yourself in the safe range of motion in your joints, warrior dance is really great for you. So hopefully you were able to be gentle with yourself today. Athena was here. Okay, well, Athena, that would be good for you. Yes, great. Happy holiday and cheers to you, Athena. Yes, Michael. Caroline, good. Nice, strong class. Great, Nicole. Nice to have you here. You're welcome, Lynn and Dave. That shout out to you. Thinking about you, Dave. Today with the feet and the head and the neck. So lots of good stuff for you. I hope you were there. I think you said you were. Dina, you're welcome. George, great. Yes. All right. So I will be here next weekend for Thanksgiving. We will all be in our homes for Thanksgiving, right? So please join me and any other class that I'm teaching. Next week, yes, I have a Wednesday morning class that is, oh no, wellness. All right. Have a lovely day. I'm off to record more stuff because I'm a little feisty today. I think you can tell. Oh, he was there. Good, Lynn. So great. Hopefully some of that stuff can free up some of his things. All right. You're welcome, Lauren. So thank you, everyone. And I'll see you when I see you. Until then, human being, human being, human being. Take your breaks out your day. Am I human being or am I doing? And be? All right.